Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. I say the things on here that nobody dare say. You all know that. That's why you've tuned in. We don't just chat bollocks like other channels. We tell it straight on here. Right. No messing about. The sponsors are pinned up in the comment section. Feel free to go and have a little nosy. Remember, health is wealth. Right. What's the story with Dennis McCann? That's right, Dennis McCann. What's the story with him now? Hey, where are we heading with this one? Hey, it's getting a bit daft now, isn't it? It's just dragging on and on and on and on, isn't it? Just when we think something's going to happen, nothing happens. And people pipe up, don't they, and just give us lip service. But it's disappointing, really, the current state of play with Dennis the Menace McCann. 16 wins, no defeats, one draw. He's been out the ring now for nearly 16 months. So, I mean, what's going on there? Is anybody with access going to ask Dennis McCann's team, are you serving a silent ban? Yes or no? Is Opie Price serving a silent ban? 25 months out the ring. Nobody wants to talk about these things. Nobody's accusing, but it is what it is, isn't it? Nobody's saying a word. I'm expecting any day now the liquor squad at Talksport to go in for bat for Dennis McCann and start accusing testing agencies of contaminating stuff, and they've got it wrong, and he's a nice lad and all this. Look, when all's said and done, it's in his system. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough, that guy that he drew with, he's from that technical draw, he's been and beat him in the last fight, but since then there's been issues, haven't there? And nobody wants to talk about it, do they? And I find that amazing in this day and age when we've got promoters like Bricktop and Eddie Hills. Hills in the blue corner, 7-0. Five by way of course, but no footage. All we've got is a bit of footage of him knocking the spotty one about in a beatdown. I enjoyed that though, Eddie. Well done. Uh, is it going to be the same as the Crusher Ben job? You know, Crusher Ben. That all came out well over 3 years ago now. We're still waiting for the 274-page dossier, although a couple of years down the line it changed into a 32-page dossier. Well, all I'm hoping is that they didn't invoice you for the 274-page one, because something like that would be about £100,000, wouldn't it, these days with lawyers? But what is going on? What's happening with these fighters? Eh? What is happening? Nobody's saying a word. It's a bit smelly, isn't it? It's a bit like the Lee Wood situation when he were a good 18, 19 months out at ring, world champion and not defending his belt. What was all that about? A bit like the Opie Price one. It's not as smelly as the Dillian Whyte one, is it? Anybody who's anybody knows that Dillian Whyte took a ban in K1, didn't he? That's kickboxing for you people that don't understand. He took a ban in K1, came to boxing when he was a novice. He got a 2 year ban for juicing. Right? What after that? We had the Oscar Rivers fight, didn't we? Nobody seems to mention Oscar Rivers, do they? Why don't anybody mention the Oscar Rivers situation? Because that one just went missing, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? When Oscar Rivers and Dillian Whyte fought, Dillian Whyte tested positive, didn't he, beforehand? What happened though with that? What happened with that? Dillian Whyte, Dillian Whyte, Dillian Whyte, White. What is happening with Dillian Whyte? Hey, nobody's going to mention it, are they? Do you know what I mean? But that was 6 year, 4 months ago. So 6 year and 4 months, and we've not heard a thing, have we? We've not heard a thing. And let me just say this. Since that fight, Dillian Whyte has had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. He's had 8 fights since then, Dillian Whyte. So after the Rivers one, he was a 3-time cheat, and he's had 8 fights since then. And then what about when he were going to fight Big Meat, Anthony Joshua? Tested dirty again, didn't he? And Eddie washed his hands of him then, didn't he? Hey, that fight never happened, but we still never got to hear about that, did we? How can that be? How can that be? I know he had a 2-year ban when he was a novice pro as a boxer, and he had that ban in K1. But how can that be? And why? Why can't people just come forward and say, look, do you know what? I'm guilty, I cheated, but everybody's doing it. Why can't they just say that? I mean, how many boxers nowadays come forward and admit it? It's a bit like all these rapists that get locked up for rape and that you meet in prison. They're always innocent, aren't they? Has anybody ever seen anything where somebody's raped somebody or murdered somebody and they said, yeah, go on, I'm guilty, pop, pop, bang? No, they aren't. They're all innocent men, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Even though they get caught, banged to rights. I mean, we've had it with Liam Cameron, haven't we? He got done for Sheedy fight for cocaine and Genman fight for cocaine. Do you see where I'm coming from? Denied both. Oh, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. It's ticket money I've handled. Oh my God. Hey, Roy Jones got done back in the day, you know, after fighting Richard Hall. Yeah, Roy Jones got busted. That went away, didn't it? We all know about the Canelo one, don't we? You know, it's just getting worse and worse, isn't it? But the Dillian Whyte one leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But what about Gerald Miller? He's always in the mix, isn't he? Big baby Miller, big fat ponce, eh? Cheat, slinking his way through boxing because he's a loudmouth and he's interesting to boxing fans, and he puts seats. He puts bums on seats, doesn't he? So it is what it is, isn't it? Povetkin's been done, and nobody was saying anything about that. He still ended up having fights, didn't he? And obviously, at the end of his career, they made an example out of him, didn't they? And made a lot of his fights no contest. But the way I look at it is this: the sport is rife with dopers, absolute dopers. But everybody's innocent. Billy Joe got done, didn't he? He was innocent. Although the 2 seconds. The Billy Joe one, you can maybe say that's harsh because it was nasal spray. You could say that's very harsh, but I just think that the sport needs to have a hard look at itself. All right, so that's about it, really. So that's just my opinion on dopers. We need to get a grip of them. Whenever there's a doper, there's always hell on it. The opposite rival promoter always screams blue murder, doesn't he? Do you remember when Eddie Hills was screaming at Canelo for being a cheat? Hey, 18 months later, he signed Canelo, didn't he? Do you see where I'm coming from? That's what you're up against. James Toney's been busted it past. Eddie fetched him over for prize fighter. These promoters have no scruples. All right? So, but I want to know why nobody's going after Dennis McCann like they did Crusher Ben. Crusher Ben copped it from everybody, didn't he? Dennis McCann ain't. Is that because he's a Bricktop fighter? We'll soon see, won't we? Pop, pop, bang. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Porky's International YouTube, that's where it's at. If you're bored, go and have a nosy. Booyaka.